So recently a lot of F2P players asked me like, should I go for that Bianca 6-star weapon if I have leftover black cards or if I just like this character really much. But hold on to your horses, don't pull that signature weapon yet because I just found out something really crazy. So if you want to know, make sure you watch to the end. And if you ever find this video helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into this. So first of all, always and always, if you are a pure F2P player, do not go for the signature weapon. You would want to go for a new S-class character instead of weapon. But for those, not everyone is the same, right? For those who just got their Bianca on the first multi, second multi, or third multi, very lucky pretty much. Now you have like 7,500 black cards left over. You're like, maybe I should go for that signature weapon because it looks really good. And from what I said previously, like her 5-star weapon is trash. Let's take a look at this. I did say like this I never say the 5-star weapon is trash, right? For F2P players, this weapon is completely fine. You could use it. Look, it's even recommended for Bianca Veritas. It's just that their passive skills is very useless against like elemental that DPS because they don't crit. And you would definitely want, and now you're looking for Tanitra 6-star weapon because this increases her lightning damage and you get that call of lightning strike or whatever, just overall more damage. But hold on for a second, don't get that weapon yet because that's something really important that I just discovered recently. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the difference between like the 5-star weapon and the 6-star weapon bow for Bianca Veritas. If you're PRF2P, you're planning to use this weapon, just know that the damage there's a huge difference in between of damage. But if you manage to fully resonate this weapon, it adds around like 90 pure attack damage to this bow and 90 crit as well. Crit is useless on Bianca Veritas, so let's ignore that attribute. So adding 90 damage to this bow would give it to like accumulate the damage to around like 472, I guess, which is, yeah, very close to there, but you're still losing the passive. So for F2P players, it's fine. If you're not paying anything to the game, don't expect to get like the top score. Those are reserved for whales who have for the weapon, fully resonate them or whatever. So just go for this one. It's fine. I mean, what do you expect? You don't pay for the game, you're not gonna be able to compete with those that pay for the premium currency because that's how the game works. That's how gacha games work, right? You pay money, you get good items, you pull the difference, you expand the gap between F2P players and whale players. So I mean, this game is really good for F2P players as well. You could still have a very decent experience in the game, so why bother? Now here's the crazy part. If you have alpha and you don't have this signature weapon, wait for it. If you have like leftover 7,500 black cards because you didn't hit pity on your S Bianca banner, not like me, I hit pity on it, and you have like 7,500 black cards left over, I would recommend you to save it. For what? For this weapon. This weapon will drop in estimation. If global speed up is really fast, it would drop around like by the end of December or maybe like next year, early January. Take a look at this weapon in terms of like the difference between Sakura and what's his called again? Julia. Raw damage wise, 463 against like 447, so you get more damage if you don't have this Sakura weapon. 239 against 234. I mean, there's not much of a difference. Now take a look at the take a look at the passive skill. This weapon is designed purely for alpha, so it only adds up to like physical damage to all what is this, katana weapon user, which is pretty much to all like Lucia characters. But if you save up the extra 7,500 black cards just for this weapon, take a look at this. Increased 15% ice damage, of course, is designed for Lucia Plume. Let's ignore that. The next passive skill is increased 10% damage to all damage. All damage means no matter you're doing like elemental damage or you're doing physical damage, you would all benefit from that. Increasing 10% damage for after a 3-orb combo, which is what you do every single day when you're playing this game. 3-orb is a very common thing, so you're pretty much getting the 10% damage all the time, and it doesn't have any cooldown at all. It lasts for 5 seconds, and if you do another tripping, I think it won't stack. It will just refresh the time for another 5 seconds, another 5 seconds, another 5 seconds. So you're pretty much getting like 10% increased damage all the time. So if you have alpha and you have Bianca Veritas, but you don't have both of their signature weapon, I would say for Bianca, just go for the 5-star weapon. That's fine, because you wouldn't want to pull the 6-star weapon. Save it. Because if you save it and you get Julia, now if you're planning to pull like Lucia Raven Feather as well, now your Raven Feather have a signature weapon that benefits from the passive skill. And you could use this weapon for your Alpha as well, because Alpha, even though Alpha doesn't benefit from the first skill, which is the 15% damage increase, you're benefiting from this as well. And just think about what this could do, because it's increasing all the damage. If you have Lucia Dawn, if you don't have like Bianca Veritas, you're planning to skip Bianca Veritas, you're planning to save for another character, I would say still for this weapon, because increase 10% damage for all characters. Think about your Lucia Dawn. Your Lucia Dawn could be using this as well. High 6-star premium damage, crit, doesn't matter for Lucia Dawn, but increasing 10% damage after a 3-orb combo, which is really good for Lucia Dawn as well. You could use this weapon for it. And guess what? If you don't care about like Carolina Amber, S-Class Carolina, if you're using B-Class Lucia Lotus as your fire DPS, guess what? This weapon works as well. So it's pretty much a very like viable weapon, and it's pretty much like worth the value for it. 7,500 black cards. You're using one signature weapon for 4 characters: Alpha, Lucia Plume, Lucia Lotus, and Lucia Dawn. So that's what I found about. Like, this weapon should be the priority for all F2P players if you have any remaining black cards that you're thinking about getting this weapon. Now, if you get this 6-star weapon for Bianca, you're only benefiting one character. The others can't use it. But if you get this weapon, you can use it for 4 characters, 4 main DPS if you plan to play Dawn and Lucia Lotus as well. So that's my opinion. And hopefully it helps, because I do think this is a really insane weapon. So if you ever find it helpful, be sure to leave a like and make sure you subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Peace. I'm following your lead, I'm following